Welcome to Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. This is your go-to source for practical advice and support while you go through the divorce process. Join us each weekday for a quick chat where we'll cover a variety of topics such as child custody, property division, and self-care. Together, we'll explore emotional, financial, and legal aspects of divorce and help you find the best path forward for you and your family. Here's your host and Certified Divorce Financial Analyst professional, Mike Fulkerson.
Hello and welcome back to Breaking Ties, the interview series. We are on day 2 today, and in the interview series, we talk with a professional who assists those getting through the divorce process, whether it's beginning, during, or after. We're really looking to get those common questions answered that you may have. And today we have an excellent guest again with Erica Hagan, and she is the founder of PeacePost.io, which, if you're not familiar, is a communication tool for challenging co-parenting dynamics. And if you don't know what challenging co-parenting dynamics are, one, you're probably in a good space, and two, you need to go back to day 1 yesterday and learn what we mean by that, because this tool can really be super helpful for many people out there. And Erica is going to continue sharing great information as we move on into the podcast on day 2. Welcome back, Erica. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you again for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Yesterday was fantastic. I appreciate you coming on the show and sharing the information that you have. And I was thinking about, kind of where we go next on this. And one of the things that I've heard you say in the past is this neutral child-centric communication. So I was interested in, why is that important during and after divorce?
Absolutely. So when you get divorced with somebody, it can be a lot of tension and a lot of pent-up anger or sadness, and some of that can muddy the water. So what I wanted to do was create a tool that helps separate out what the emotion might be and keep the conversation moving, because you're still a parent at the end of the day. You still need to take care of your little ones. And so not getting to this high agitated state and just having a tool to support you through that, that's basically the background of PeacePost.
Wow. Yeah, that's it. And I think it's important to just reiterate kind of what you mean is, and a lot of it is kid centric. I mean, we are co-parenting, and when it's all said and done, at the end of the day, we want our kids to be well adjusted. And this whole divorce process just throws them into an upheaval. And if you and your co-parent are struggling mightily to communicate, the kids will pick up on that. And so PeacePost, really does play a nice role in that. And let's chat a little bit about how it helps reduce conflict in co-parenting situations. I mean, money is usually the root of a lot of discussions when it comes to a divorce and stuff. And then when you have kids involved, so now you've got financial matters relating to the children. So if you wouldn't mind kind of just going over what your thoughts are on those types of co-parenting situations.
Absolutely. Money can be a giant trigger, at least for a lot of conflicts. So for PeacePost, the goal would be to minimize aggressive words, minimize lengthy discussions, and keep it very simple. So if I were to needing to communicate with an ex, I would simply state the facts. Using PeacePost would use it to only state the facts, would then say what needs to be said and get out. So we want to keep it short, simple, and to the point. So sometimes it's we need to communicate, sometimes, or in person, I should say, and other times it would be something that only talks about the matters at hand and not drudging up other things.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think you and I both know from experience that, goodness, you don't want to open any other cans of worms that you don't have to open up, because you can go down just a black hole. And it's really, I think it's fair to say, it's pretty unproductive a lot of times. And so when you have a tool like this where you put things in writing, even, because I think that's also kind of an important part of the tool as well, is it just helps you get things in writing. So that way, if stuff really does go south, you've got something to reflect back on and share, to go through, whether it's with the courts or an attorney or who mediator, whatever. You're able to then use that as information.
Absolutely. And that's utilizing best practices, especially when you're dealing with a challenging co parenting dynamic. You want to make sure that everything is in writing. So, whether you're doing it via text, email, parenting app, however, you want to make sure you're keeping great records and not letting emotions steer the conversation.
Right. Yeah. And that's a great piece of advice right there. So, well, this is fantastic. I appreciate that information you're sharing. This is great stuff. And believe it or not, this concludes day 2 of the interview. And I want to invite everybody to join us again tomorrow as we continue our discussion on communication and divorce. Eric and I would like to thank you for joining us today on the Breaking Ties interview series. Should you have any questions for her information is going to be in the description, and you can reach out to her. She'd be happy to answer your questions. And keep in mind that divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. And with that, we will see you tomorrow for day 3 of the interview. Take care.